a little bit of a different view on the case of Kenneka Jenkins, and I know you're not going to agree with me, so I'm not even going to start there. Strange things are happening to normal people every day, and you want to know about it, you little weirdo. Part 10. We have reached part 10. I said I was only going to do 10 of these. Technically, I did 11 because I did a recent court case. Go watch that. But anyway, should I keep doing these? Because I kind of like them. Today we're talking about a little bit of a controversial case, and that is that of Kenneka Jenkins. Now, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of injustice here, a lot, and I'm going to get into all of it, but I do have a different take on it, and I'm wondering if you guys agree with me or you disagree, which is fine. Kenneka was an absolutely beautiful girl from Chicago, Illinois. This happened on Friday, September 8th, 2017. Kenneka was a young girl, so she was doing what young girls do, and that is borrow your car and go get wasty at a hotel room. And that is exactly what she did. Don't judge. You've done it too. So they were in room 926 of this hotel in downtown. Kenneka got there a little after 1 a.m. She was, of course, drinking, and people say that she wasn't really acting herself, but she did talk to her sister about 1:30, and then after that, I think she was pretty intoxicated. Kenneka and her friends are seen on footage just walking down the hallways, kind of staggering, to be honest, but they seem to be in good spirits, laughing, and just having a good time. On this footage, you see that they are kind of collecting by the front desk at about 3:20 a.m. 5 minutes later, you see her leaving the elevator and she is alone. This is where it gets really scary and really weird. She goes into like this kitchen place that was in the hotel. Now, this area was not being used, but it did still have kitchen appliances and a walk-in freezer. You see Kenneka around the corner. You do not see her go into the freezer, but we can assume that is where she went because that is where she ended up. About an hour later, the friends call Kenneka's mom and they're like, we can't find her. We don't know where she is. So Mama Bear comes down to that hotel room and they are searching for a long time. The mother is seen at the front desk a lot. And then around 7 a.m. is when authorities were called. I want to be clear, I believe that the family called authorities, by the way. The family was told to wait a couple of hours, that she'll turn up. The family and the friends, they don't just go home. They are walking the halls of this hotel room, banging on doors, trying to find her until about 10 p.m. when the police finally get the footage of that day. It wasn't until 12:25 on Sunday that Kenneka was found. She was found in the freezer and she was unalived, and she was pronounced unalived at the time that they found her. She was lying on her side. You can see that like some of her clothing is a little messed up. She has a cut on her foot, and there are pictures of this. Please view with caution. It's a lot. It's completely tragic what happened. There is no other signs of trauma to her other than that little cut on her foot. And really, we don't know if there is footage of her going into the freezer. Some people have said that there is, some people have said that there's not, so we really don't know. Now, they did rule that Kenneka's unaliving was accidental. She did have a high alcohol concentrate of her blood, of course, no other illicit things in her system. If you are just researching this case, like, a lot of us are, I have heard about it from a long time ago. But my whole thing was, okay, then what was she unalived by? Did she freeze? Like, what happened here? And it's a very weird mix of things. So she did have this in her system, a thing that was for epilepsy. Now, we don't really know why she had that in her system, but she did, and that contributed to a lot of things. Let's be clear, it is for epilepsy. It's also for headaches, and it was never prescribed to Kenneka. That doesn't mean that she didn't take it, but it was never prescribed to her. When you mix this certain epilepsy thing with the amount of alcohol that Kenneka was consuming, it increases it speeds up hypothermia. It increases the effects of hypothermia. It makes it a lot worse and faster. This was all confirmed by some lesions that she had on her stomach that said that that was what was going on, the mix of that medication plus the alcohol. This was a weird fact to me, but there was brain swelling, but it didn't have anything to do with what happened, which I find a little bit odd. Now, police say that this is what happened. It was accidental. It increased all the likelihood of hypothermia, and she tragically unalived. But Kanika's family and friends were like, what are the odds of that happening, really? And how do we know that someone didn't follow her into the freezer and all of that? Which are great questions, which they needed to ask. And on top of that, the police telling them to wait is definitely injustice. The hotel management and the hotel at large not looking for a missing person inside of your hotel, all of it was just negligent. It was negligent. So Kanika's mother sued. Rightfully so. She sued the hotel. She sued the crap out of the hotel. She also sued the crap out of the security company, and she also went online, and everyone else went online saying, what the hell, police? What is with this wait and see? First of all, we don't do that anymore. And second of all, why couldn't you have come and just looked around the hotel? You would have found her. Maybe you could have saved her. The family agreed to a settlement. I'm not going to say how much it was. You can go look it up. They got a pretty penny, and I think they deserved every single bit of it. Because honestly, I do think this is injustice. You have this teenager or young adult going missing, and you think just because that she was intoxicated that her life doesn't matter? You don't think you need to look for her? You don't think you could just get off your butt and go look around that kitchen? I mean, alarm bells should have been going off way before this, and they should have gotten the security footage way before this, but they didn't, so they got sued, and rightfully so. I think this also goes to show other police forces and other hotel companies and all of that to protect the people that you're supposed to be protecting. Maybe it'll save some lives again. Here's the thing. A lot of people go online and they attack the friends, they attack the victim, they say, why was she getting drunk in a hotel, da-da-da-da-da-da. All of that, to me, doesn't matter. None of it matters, because this was a life. This was a life of a young person who had a whole life that they could have done amazing things with, and it was taken away. And I'm not going to attack those friends. I am going to say, let this be a lesson that everyone can learn from with alcohol, is don't leave people alone ever when they're intoxicated, because stuff like this does happen. But I'm not going to go and attack those friends. I mean, they are not responsible for what happened, and they should not feel like they are responsible for what happened. So I said that I have a kind of crazy explanation for everything. And honestly, my opinion goes against everybody's opinion online. Everybody online says that she was unalived by someone. And I get that. I get being mad. I get being upset. I get wanting an answer. But I think our answer is was an accident. That is truly my opinion. I think it was an accident. And that doesn't take away any of the hurt and any of the injustice that she did come across in this situation. But I don't think she was unalived. I really don't. I think it was a tragic accident. It was a crazy circumstance. I mean, think about the fact that she was taking certain things and then, this all happened. It's a crazy set of circumstances, but I do believe it was an accident. I know you're already furiously typing in the comments, so please do tell me why you think it was someone who did this and why you think it was an accident or whatever your opinion is. And please let this be a lesson learned. Thank you. I'll see you possibly next time.